entrant. A rising socialite, a man of ambition, godless and fearless, the brash young warrior serving Count Luis, Gladel, the Black Hound!
Him? So he was one of Luis's men.
The fallen king embraced sanctism and all its holy tenets, and for what? He was nothing before Lord Luis. Look to the sky all you wish. No god can save you! What our country needs is power!
Well, it's not quite all the contenders, but let's get on with the introductions. The great liberal merchant, it's Roger Ward. By war, by conquest, by right, it's Rudolph Krauss. In it more for the gauntlet runners than the throne, it's Lena Caden. Sure to be popular by pledging free drinks for life, it's Loveless O'Shea. Uplifting the beautiful and deposing the hideous, it's Milo Maurizio.
Wow, if we lose this, I think the country has some even bigger problems.
Now, I do believe we have one final candidate. Do we have an Elden boy present? Come on, let's see a face.
What? An elder? Disgraceful. Is this the only way you could think to distinguish yourself?
By the way, the ride you applied with still hasn't arrived. And, if it doesn't show up by the time the noon bell rings, you're disqualified. All right?
Hey! What's going on?
That nitwit! What is he doing?
So, contestants, are you ready?
What? Last, I say! Wait! Found your behave!
A land runner?
It's quick! Wait, it's headed right for the... It'll crash!
Whoa!
What the heck is that?
Wonderful. So much for a first impression.
What hell? Isn't he a marvel, chums?
You don't! You nearly brought down the cathedral! Have a care, you fool. 'Twas bad enough when Luis did it the first time. That feckless, shameless old fool.
Not bad, kid. Guess you've got some interesting tricks up your sleeve after all. Right! I'd call that a full roster. Ladies and gentlemen, race across the land. Go! Prove yourself worthy and earn your crown. For the people, for the throne. Let the games begin!
Yeah, I'll probably play the Indiana
We must take
Jones
to the
on some
road.
streams on a break. It'll probably be a fun time.
So fast! Gotta hold on to something or I'll get blown up!
It's incredible!
I ended up standing out more than I expected. I gained a lot of interest, but I could only consider this a part of my mission to aid the prince.
Just a sec.
Well, what's with that thing? Was this our carriage?
Can you hear me?
Let us run along the main road then. The others seem to be doing us so much. You're just as crazy as this runner. I'll take the compliment, little lady. Now let's have some coordinates for a little test run. What is happening right now?
Let's see.
We gotta go to a place called Martira, Old Castletown, I think. Should be a way south.
Wow!
Oh, Martira, here it is. Down to Martira, eh? On this crass legs. That's gonna be 4 days, 3 nights about. days to 3 nights. That's a great deal faster than a carriage. Surely the roads would be safer at that kind of speed. All good. Now, Castle's British chaps, full steam ahead to Martyr Old Castle Town. We're supposed to check it out at some point, but he's still doing 9
This
souls.
is amazing. I don't know a thing about gauntlet
Yeah,
runners, but
you
even I
know,
can tell this is a hell of a
I'm always
craft.
tempted to
I
get
can hardly
9
believe
souls.
she's ours to drive.
But I'm like, do I want to do multiple souls likes at once? Because I have Black Myth Wukong.
This girl's been waiting long enough for her time to shine.
So this is what you used to talk with the driver. Convenient, that.
Look, old fellow, are you really on our side? You realize we don't have funds to pay you.
Money? Ha! I'm not in this for the money, boy. What I want is a little gusto. What do you think, lad? Isn't this a rush?
It is at that. Like riding the wind.
That's the ticket. It's been so long since I've had a good chinwag.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
You've a good head on your shoulders, boy. Yes, I can tell you're a sharp one. Where to, ladies? The world is our shellfish.
You certainly are a different person behind the wheel.
Hey, Hulkenberg! Can we get an explanation yet?
That man is Neurus. An Ishkia, if 'twas not obvious from the wings. And despite everything, he was heir to a noble house and personal machinist for the royal family.
What?
He's a master engineer, of course, positively peerless. But as you can see, the runners get him a bit excitable.
Noble District Underhall.
Neurus, are you there? I'm coming in. Even amidst all this commotion in town, I find you buried in your work.
It's too much to do.
As always. To business then. I must ask a favor. Would you be able to ready a carriage for me?
No new commissions. No time for them. Ask another right.
It is not the new one I require. Before His Highness disappeared, did you not accept a contract to build him a custom carriage? Without a formal owner, I reasoned that it must now lie unused. I was hoping I might borrow it a short while.
But pish and tosh, woman. She is for royal use and naught else.
'Tis an unreasonable request, I know. But I'd not be asking without a grave need. Might I at
Lady-
least see it?
It's closer to Metroidvania. I've been doing so before on this Tunic. This
Twas
one.
specially made for His
I
Highness.
haven't played
yes.
Tunic, but Hebby
Not
said it
work
was like a
you'd have sold
Souls-like.
off. Where lies it now?
I think it might just be classified as a
Deadlines to
hard
meet,
game,
dash
though.
it. Off with you now. Leave me be.
You've been acting stranger than usual. What ails you?
Who's Lady of Fairmeal? Is that a boss in
Oh,
9 Souls?
Good God. Is this a gauntlet runner? The very craft commissioned for His Highness the Prince? Even knowing His Highness was gone, still you toiled away. Oh, Neurus, you are an inspiration. Such nobility of purpose.
Oh, you guys to a long time to beat her.
yes.
Ah.
Right.
However, for a craft meant for the royal family, it is rather excessive, isn't it? Did you really build this vehicle exactly to
Yeah,
their
I'm more
orders?
prone to the 3D games.
You cannot mean...
Well, at first, certainly. I followed the blueprints exactly. But then His Highness died, and... well, I couldn't just let the old girl waste away. A masterpiece like her? Collecting dust in storage? No! Unacceptable! Unthinkable! I'm working toward a dream. And this this poor old girl is going to help me see it through.
Looking for the bedtime
And
lamp.
then, finally,
You imbecile! A lowly, brazen court engineer butchering His Highness's inheritance for a hobby! For this mania! You embezzled the royal treasury and disrespected his legacy! Treason!
Mercy, please! Look, take my head if you must, milady, but leave the value runner alone.
Look, this runner... it is fully operational now, is it? Then I suggest you cooperate, for both our sakes. Finish your tinkering by tomorrow and bring it to the Grand Cathedral as soon as you can.
Eh? What's all this now? You play the proud soldier at me and then pluck it for your own schemes?
Tis no scheme. I would use it for His Highness's sake.
For His Highness, eh? Hold a tick. Haven't you been looking for him? Wandering across God knows where, last I heard. So if you're back now and now you want a gauntlet runner for His Highness? Is His Highness still alive? That's it! I've got you, haven't I?
'Twas His Highness who gave you refuge while you were only a heretical scholar condemned by the Sanctists. The time has come to repay his mercy.
Understood.
Is that enough? Can this old duck really handle an undercover
Alright,
operation?
guys, I'm gonna be right back for a little bit. Talk about bananas. Oh my gosh, that was an idea. Hi, Minty, no! Also sat there recording.
I know what you're thinking, but 'tis at least true that he feels an undying debt of gratitude to the royal family.
Pish and tosh, boy. A little faith. Not to brag, but this old duck's craft might be the fastest gauntlet runner in the kingdom. Quite probably the world. I think. Maybe.
How encouraging.
All I want is to push this runner as far and as fast as she can go. Show her off to the world. And you? Well, I presume you'd rather work together than have to walk, eh?
I don't know about this, but I guess we'll just have to trust him. What do you think?
I think we can count on him.
If you're sure, I suppose. We'll deal with it if we have to.
Either way, he knows the prince is alive, so we can't just leave him to his own devices. We're all in the same boat. Or runner, I guess.
You lot can handle the fighting, and I'll handle all the driving and grease work. Just make sure you've got a proper plan for all this mess now.
This guy's got no filter.
8.
But he has a point.
Luna lore?
We
Let me
do
know
need
if you
to talk
want
strategy.
me to give you any lore.
So, summing up. Our first trial is to slay a monster. We take its head as proof, then get it to the goal line before the deadline. The bigger the head, the better. Our destination is Port Brylehaven, the capital of the Western Principality of Oceania. It'd be a trek on foot, but this gauntlet runner should make it a snap.
So getting the bounty's head is our next move. And our target is a nefarious criminal who's been kidnapping and selling off children. Right?
A criminal? Did the task not specify a monster's head?
Don't worry, all part of the plan. We don't need to win this thing. We just need to get Luis's attention. Everyone's going to show up with monster heads, and we shake things up with a felon. A knight-turned-kidnapper at that. Shows them we're there for justice.
But to deliberately violate the rules, we risk being disqualified entirely. Then again, 'tis just as likely to win the people's attention and thereby Luis's. I do understand the intent.
Why
What do you think
Minty
of this
is
plan?
the best? So, are you familiar with the story of the sword and the stone? Yes, it was about a story where there was a sword and said whoever pulls the sword is king of Camelot. And people tried one after another to pull said stone, or sword from said stone, and they failed. Come young King Arthur, who was able to casually pull the sword from the stone on here accident. So, within Zenless Zone Zero, there is a legend that should someone actually enjoy the TV mode of Hollow Zero, they shall be declared the best. Hee. Many people have tried and most failed, as this TV mode was much too much for people to handle. Then came along, young Minty, young and fresh. Went into the Hollow Zero and then finished it without even realizing it was over. Wanting to get the full Hollow Zero experience, he went again and again. And soon he became the only one truly enjoying Hollow Zero, and thus, without realizing it, thus became the best. He.
I think it's a perfect idea.
Makes sense, doesn't it? The bounty's Heismay, an ex-knight. I realize that's a little close to home, Hulkenberg, so if you'd rather hang back...
No. His title is precisely why I cannot let his atrocities stand. And yet, it is strange indeed that we are hunting a mere man when the trial demands a monster. Then again, our true aim is beyond the ambitions of any other aspirant. Our fate rests in this plan of yours, Stroll.
Thank you. I'll try to ensure your trust isn't misplaced.
You almost choked on soup laughing. Thank you. I came up with that on the spot. I thought that came out pretty good, honestly.
Our course is set. Feel free to use anything in the gauntlet runner. Even got a bathing room if you could use a wash.